on the first 1 crore check that we had received was a different high.
First love.
So yeah, so
That was 26 years back.
No. That was in the year 2010.
10, acha. How was that?
When World Towers was launched, Lodha World Towers, and they launched the first tower called as Lodha World 1.
I think Elon Musk must be coming in your dreams, or you are coming in Elon Musk's dreams, one of the two. Huh?
No, I want to be a part of the dream that he is dreaming of.
What do you admire the most about him?
He's a visionary.
Visionary, huh?
Visionary. I mean, whatever he has done is way ahead of its time.
Yeah.
Like even the vehicles and all, electric
Tesla.
vehicles. I mean, when he thought of something which was way different from major manufacturers of vehicles in the world. You know, he went against the entire thought process.
Breakthrough, absolute breakthrough.
And he was successful in it. So he's brave, okay, and he's very hardworking. My aim is to be the greatest real estate advisor in the world.
Hello everybody, my name is Kaizad. I'm a proud employee working with Rustomjee for my past 18 years. This is my 19th year in Rustomjee. Welcome to the show on the talk show of real estate. Today I have somebody who is very amazing, extremely accomplished, and one of the person with the highest and the longest track record on this show who I've ever interviewed and who you will have the privilege of listening to in matter of 1 minute or so. Before that, I would like to tell you that this person is no small fry. I've introduced you to people who've done the 5,000 crore business, 3,000 crore business, 6,000 crore business. With due respect to them, and may they all continue growing in their life. But this man is, what you can say separates the men from the boys. Nothing less than 10,000 crores business. I'm proud and happy to share the stage and the screen with Mr. Mac Kotwal from Mac Kotwal Realty. Welcome, Mac.
Thank you.
We are so happy to have you on our show, bringing the positive energy and the rich experience with us. We hope the viewers will learn a lot from your knowledge of more than 26 years. That is truly amazing, Mac. Tell us something about your journey. How did you land up over here?
First of all, thank you, Kaizad, for your kind words. It really means a lot coming from a stalwart like you. Well, this is my story. Rather, this is a journey from being a real estate broker to a real estate advisor to a friend now.
Wow.
Yes, friend, because
you're graduated.
because most of my clients now know me as their friend and they treat me like one, and I think this is the largest or the biggest wealth that I've earned so far.
Beautiful, beautiful. So well said. This is such a, this is experience speaks, right? I asked Mac a few minutes back, what do you prefer to call yourself? Do you like the term like realtor, channel partner? He said, no, I'm fine with being called a broker and I'm proud to be a broker. I think, the terminology at the end of the day doesn't matter. I mean, if you call a doctor something else, it doesn't take away from the kind of quality of the work that the person is doing.
You should be proud of your field.
You should be proud of whatever we are doing.
Absolutely.
But the most I love is not only that you are not only proud of being called a broker and you have no qualms about saying it so, coolly about, and you're actually making it sound cool,
It is, isn't it? That's why I'm here.
And then you say you graduated to being an advisor.
Yeah.
And then now the ultimate, I mean, this is what I think every business owner should aspire, is to make your customers into your friends and into your family.
Exactly.
This is the ultimate, right?
True.
So what was that thing that triggered these changes and these upgrades, if I may say?
As I said, it's just a journey. So, when you start with someone, when you start business, when you're young, your focus is to be successful, to earn money. That's like a prime motive, to be successful, to close a transaction or do a deal. As years go by, you realize that there is more value in relationships which you build with buyers.
Beautiful.
Because eventually in my journey over the last 2 decades, most of the clients who we have now, I have had interactions with them more than 3-4 times, rather 3 to 4 times they've bought real estate.
At least we should add.
So then I realized that actually that is a wealth. It's not the quantum of money that you earn, but the relationships that you formulate over the years.
Beautiful.
And everybody then calls you a friend. Like say if you were to buy real estate or if you were to buy anything or needed something, you would always call upon a friend, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. What should I do? Even if you were to buy a car, Kaizad, you bought this car, how's this car, should I buy this, what are you recommending, which model should I go in for? So when you connect with someone at that level and when the person takes your advice seriously and he realizes that there's no bias or there's no hidden motive behind you calling
no vested interest.
No vested interest, then you have kind of arrived, and that is the platform that you should be on.
My gosh, it took you such a long time, and I think everybody has to go through that journey. पहले बेचो बेचो बेचो, बाद में यार ठीक है अभी बहुत बेच दिया, अभी थोड़ा एडवाइस देते हैं, अभी बहुत एडवाइस भी देते हैं, अभी दोस्त बनाते हैं उसको यार. How cool is that?
So it's like learning to say no. So sometimes when someone comes to you in our field or any field, when you're selling a product, it's very difficult to say no, right? So you would come to me and you would say कि यार मैं कि ये project में घर लेना, I like it and all that, and I'm like चलो कैसा तो आ गया अभी कर लेते.
और क्या?
But if I don't believe in it, then as a friend I'll say no कैसा, this is not for you. It's incorrect.
ये खड्डे में गिर रहा है मत जाओ.
So and once you say no and once a person realizes the value of your advice, absolutely, absolutely. So I think that's the focus.
You should make a T-shirt, Mac forever. There's this MMA fighter McGregor forever. You should have Mac forever. मतलब एक बार मैक के साथ गया तो मतलब all the other brokers are out of business only.
It's not that. All brokers are brothers.
किसी का कोई चांस ही नहीं है.
Yes. The competition is not with brokers.
There is no competition.
The competition is with yourself.
Wow, how nice, how nice. So tell us, that's so inspiring. What a great start, and like you can say, beautiful start to this conversation. Inspiring start.
Thank you.
Where were you born? And a little bit about your parents and like which, since you are Parsi Babaji, which Gam were you born in? Navsari, Bharuch,
I was born in Mumbai,
Valsad.
but Gam is Udwada.
Udwada.
Udwada Gam. So both my parents were Parsis. Both of them were bankers. So
I think 80% of Parsi population of past generation were bankers only.
Central Bank and Union Bank.
My mummy was 32 years in Union Bank and Central Bank.
My mother was in Union Bank.
There you are. There
so
you are.
We have a connect. Great.
And then what was your first job? How did you like?
No, so I never did a job. I was always an entrepreneur, and fortunately my father was a wealthy man. So I had that comfort in my childhood.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So which line of business was he in?
He was in banking. Then he started his own factory.
Banking में business करता था?
नहीं, पहला he was in banking. Then he started his own business. He got into can making.
Cans?
In Sharjah, cans. He was doing that in Sharjah, so he got into that. And it was a good journey for him. He was also very dynamic. So I learned a lot from my father, and I think most of the dynamism comes from him.
Of course, genetic engineering can't escape it. It's a privilege.
So my kids tell me that you're a lot like grandpa.
Ouch! I'm sure you didn't. You didn't give them the latest iPhone, so they are taking badla on you. I'm sure they don't mean it.
I just got a demand for that day before.
There you are. So this is blackmail techniques, boss. Don't fall for it. I'm sure they have equal and more respect for you. This is emotional atyachar. Genetics never lie. So that's nice, and may your parents live happy ever after.
Yeah, and they are no more, but
I'm so sorry.
Blessing,
for that. The blessings will always live happy. Be there. I genuinely believe that. I've not seen God. I always tell people, Bhagwan ko humne dekha nahi hai, but parents are the in the form of the God, Bhagwan ke roop, the closest incarnation of the God is your mom and dad.
Absolutely.
And they will. I think you can keep loving your wife, you may fall out of love with your wife, you may love your girlfriend, you will fall out of love, you may fall in love with the world, you fall out of love with the world, but you can never stop loving your parents. That's one thing.
And as time goes by, you realize the sacrifices they've made and how they brought you up. Every year I realize what good my parents did for me when I was a child or when I was a teenager. That time maybe you don't value these things. Seriously, over time you realize. So I think you're right.
When we lose, we realize. It's sad human nature. I would today. I think a lot of kids would give anything just to have maybe a 1 hour conversation with their mom or dad once again.
I'm one of them. For sure.
Like I'd give my right hand for that.
For sure.
I think if there is a God, and they should allow. Like I mean, even the ruthless people in jail are allowed to talk to their loved ones once a year. Like I was in boarding school, so parents were allowed to visit us once a year. I mean, people. Kids who genuinely love the parents and vice versa, they should be allowed to talk to them at least once a year. Some kind of arrangement should be made, like it would be such a great relief to talk to my mom and dad once again.
That would be my wish.
Mind blowing, absolutely. Good, let's make a, unfortunately our digital communication doesn't reach God somehow or the other.
Maybe through one of the rockets that
Mr. Musk is sending someone to Mars and all this.
Mr. Musk, no, India is going places.
India is also going, very nice. Chalo. You want to be one of the spaceships over there?
That's one of my dreams.
Yeah, no?
So I think in my fag years or the end of my life, I want to be on a spacecraft,
go to space and
venture into space. That's one thing that I've thought of.
When Elon Musk had, I think, was it Virgin Atlantic or Elon Musk?
No, Virgin was different.
That space tourism.
SpaceX.
SpaceX.
Elon
So
Musk,
many years
SpaceX.
back, 5-6 years back, they had invited the bids. It was 4
Yeah,
crore
yeah,
rupees.
yeah.
I almost wanted to sell my one home
Yeah.
and apply for that.
Yeah,
Then I said, घर जाएगा जाएगा, पर एक space में तो जाके आएगा. I came so close to making the decision, but then I thought, यार, what am I doing? I'm selling my home to just go to space. So I did something.
No, but that you should do, like as I said, when you know that now your life is towards an end. Probably once you cross 80 or something, which you will because of your Parsi genetics. तभी space में जाके मुझे करो.
Oh, your probability of coming back is very less, so take chances.
नहीं, you will come back. Yeah, don't say that.
But I tell you, Mac, since on this space mission, and maybe there are a lot of other people who share our fantasy and our aspiration, the closest thing that you can have this feeling of being in space is deep sea diving. Have you ever tried deep sea diving?
I've done deep sea diving, but I felt the closest was skydiving.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So that was the highest I kind of experienced. A free fall. And
Where? In New Zealand, Australia?
In Australia.
Australia, okay.
Yeah.
Cairns.
And that was near Sydney.
Okay.
So it was on New Year's Day.
New Year's Day?
Yeah, first
Look,
Jan.
5 peg
Nahi,
ke jump
no,
maro.
no peg at all. No
Good
peg
you
at all.
didn't forget your parachute. In a drunken state, I can do anything.
But that's what I realized, that there's so much of fear in life. But once you face your fear, then you realize, well, it was nothing.
It was nothing. It was
So,
nothing.
when you jump from that height,
Yeah.
and when you're free falling,
Yeah.
there is no feel at all. As a matter of fact, it's enjoyable. You feel as if you're flying. You don't feel like you're falling. You get that? Like, you get butterflies in the stomach. All that feeling is not there. It's just an amazing.
You wish that you would not come down, right?
I wish that it would continue.
Continue for a longer time. Yeah, I have tried myself, I think 3, 4, 5 times. I've lost count now. At least 4 times, I think so.
And that's what I mean. Here in India, it's still not come. In terms of skydiving, it's not become main sport. But in Australia, like, you look up and people, hordes of people just jumping from the planes. And
I think we can go to Himachal or somewhere and Manali for the paragliding. That's the closest.
Skydiving has not still coming.
Why don't we start a business on
we
the side?
We should now.
Mac Kotwal reality branch. It's an open space opportunity.
Done. Done.
Let's consider. Anyway, that's nice, interesting. So, Daddy was into tin cans and Mac Kotwal is into realty. And what about your children? They
are studying now. My elder son is just going to be 18 in 3 days from now.
Oh, how nice. Congrats.
Thank you. And my younger one is 16 years old.
16, okay.
So they both want to be engineers. And
engineers, not interested in daddy's business?
No, it's about education. It's not about daddy's business. I mean, daddy's business mein jana hai to anytime you can go. That option is always there.
Always, okay.
But
there's no force.
No, I believe that what is necessary and what gift as a parent I should give my children is education.
Perfect.
Once they are well educated, rather very highly educated, then you set them for life. Then whether they want to continue your business or whether they want to work or whatever they want to do, they are qualified. So I think that qualification is very, very, very important.
Correct. I think I'm no master at parenting, but I think if you really want to trigger into their minds anything to do with real estate, I suggest that whenever you visit the marquee projects, like you've been a lot at Rustomjee.
They've been to Crown.
Yeah. So take them to Crown, take them to Artesia, take them to all the Lodha World Towers.
They have a very good understanding of real estate.
Once they see these amazing edifices, and maybe something will take in there and like, wow, this is what I want to do. I mean,
but it should come naturally. As I said, it should not interfere with the education. So first, you should not distract your children and try to teach them or try to get them into your business and try to show them that, well, something is there on a platter for you and you can just come and start working and earning money. No, that's the wrong route.
Correct.
Because today, maybe with God's grace and parents' blessings, I've been successful, but you never know what their journey will be.
Correct.
So I think getting a good education qualification is a prerequisite in today's time.
That is important.
Very,
no matter what happens, you can. It's a fallback.
Absolutely.
Boss, you can.
So I tell my kids, I'm not going to leave homes or money or wealth for you. What I'm going to leave.
I'm going to enjoy it all myself.
But I'll ensure that you can create that wealth.
You create it for yourself. Self-reliance. Why not? I think I think I genuinely salute your thought process, and I wish I could reach out to millions of parents in India who are taking so much stress in their life. And they don't enjoy their lives, they sacrifice so much, they pinch pennies. And then I ask them, कितना टेंशन ले रहे हो आप लाइफ में, मजा नहीं, you're not enjoying your life, you're stressed for 20-30 years. नहीं, मेरे बच्चे के लिए छोड़ रहा है. I said, बस हमारे पेरेंट्स ने हमारे लिए क्या छोड़ा?
बच्चों के लिए छोड़ना नहीं चाहिए, बच्चों के लिए बनाना सिखाना चाहिए। बच्चों को सिखाओ कि कैसे चीज बनाते हैं।
Beautiful.
That is the focus.
Beautiful.
And I think it's there in Parsis. I mean, every Parsi.
Correct.
Right from childhood.
Absolutely.
You must have realized.
Yes,
that,
yes,
that's
yes,
the major emphasis that we give.
Absolutely. First, maybe when I was younger, I may have seen it as a complaint, but now that I have grown up, my father has not left any fortune for me.
Correct.
But he gave me the values.
Absolutely.
He taught me the, like you said, the importance of the relationships.
Right,
He taught me the importance of the being humble, of caring for people, being thoughtful for people. So ये values जो होता है, and the basic education,
that
what you
goes a
said,
long way.
that is the greatest bank balance and investment.
And as you age, you understand these things more. In the early years, you will not probably value these things.
बरोबर.
But time teaches us what's valuable.
Father of the Year award goes to Mac Kotwal. Mac, we just gave you the impromptu Father of the Year award, but we are forgetting that there is always a better half, and behind every successful man is a woman.
Correct.
Let us know more about that lucky girl or lucky lady.
She is the parent of the year.
Parent of the Year
Between
award.
father and mother, first of all, mother is more important. Okay, you can ask any child. And
Father is pocket money.
father is ठीक है, चलो आते हैं good, but second, mother is always on top here, and then
mother is mother
everything
boss.
else starts below that.
She gives birth.
Yeah.
And,
birth and plus nurtures, nourishes. And
nourishes.
today, I mean, it's very important to have a good mother. She instills a lot of values. And even for a man, actually, now that you are saying this, I'm not saying it just because I'm in an interview in front of the camera. But yes, I think a wife is a very, very important part of your journey of this life.
They are the anchor, emotional anchor.
And a good wife can make the journey much better, much smoother. She can be your inspiration, your encouragement. And most important, I think your wife is someone who keeps you grounded. Okay? कि बाहर तुम कुछ भी उठते हो तो चलो उतरो नीचे उतरो, come back.
Great. So happy parenting to Mrs. Kotwal. Congratulations for choosing such a wise man. And
I'll edit this and I'll show it to her.
No need to edit.
The most important part of the interview.
Raw truth and live. And I would not only like to congratulate her for choosing such a smart and sweet guy like you, but I would like to congratulate you also for choosing such a brave, strong, resilient, and all the values-oriented lady. So hats off to both of you out there. And Rab ne bana di jodi. May you be happily ever after. May you live happily ever after.
Thank you.
Ride into the sunset on your ranch somewhere in the second home countryside.
I'm going somewhere else. You're zoning me out.
Start imagining. In real estate,
maybe in my SpaceX rocket.
SpaceX. I think your Elon Musk must be coming in your dreams, or you are coming in Elon Musk's dreams. One of the two. Huh?
No, I want to be a part of the dream that he's dreaming of.
What do you admire the most about him?
He's a visionary.
Visionary.
I mean, whatever he has done, he is way ahead of its time.
Like
even the vehicles and all, electric vehicles. I mean, when he thought of something which was way different from major manufacturers of vehicles in the world. He went against the entire thought process.
Breakthrough, absolute breakthrough.
And he was successful in it. So he's brave, okay, and he's very hardworking. So, I don't know whether you've seen some of his videos and his journey.
I think 16, 18 hours he works.
So, he works.
That's insane.
He works very hard, and he's
I wonder why he sold his apartment and he's staying on rent. It's not good for realtors, huh?
No, actually,
why would he do that?
The wealthier you get, the simpler you get.
Oh, like
that's
these are all just
because
friends.
you value other things. Like most of the possessions that we have are for showing others, not for yourself. They lose value over time. So I think these people have reached that stage. That's like a nirvana.
Yeah, financial nirvana.
Financial nirvana. So you don't need to show anything to no one. Whatever you're comfortable in, you do.
You're doing it for the sake of achievement.
Absolutely.
Of a task, of a bigger goal, a greater goal.
Absolutely.
For the greater good.
Doesn't matter what you wear, where you stay.
Correct.
As long as you're getting to do what brings you real happiness, I mean, that's wealth. And they've achieved that. And no financial insecurity.
Absolutely.
कि कल क्या होगा?
They are relying on their own intelligence, na Baba.
Absolutely.
Their knowledge is like you said, education.
Yeah.
Their knowledge and education is the best security. It's a financial anchor for them. Mac, I remember this once we were standing outside Crown, Rustomjee at Prabhadevi, and this passion of yours about Tesla came up, and I think
we saw a Tesla.
Can you imagine? We were talking about Tesla, right?
And we saw
and suddenly
Tesla, just opposite the road.
And then we went on the other side of the road. And we asked the driver, can you open the car?
That was
and
the
show-
X model, the SUV.
What was that?
X,
White color
yeah,
was it?
white color with the doors opening.
So boss, this is no, there is a connect, boss.
Yeah.
We talk about it and Tesla comes. How many
Yeah.
Teslas are there in India?
Exactly, exactly.
Ketla ase apna, God knows.
Very few, very few.
So see, that means you are destined sometime or the other.
yeah.
Sometime or the other के
Done.
आज 5 साल के बाद तो आप ड्राइव करेगा मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है. It's in your heart, no, all the time, in your subconscious mind.
And you can have that car anytime you want,
No,
for any
I will
purpose you
admire
want.
it from far off.
Nahin.
We Parsis are not very great. I'm better
Parsis
at
love their cars, yeah.
not very good at driving. But bike, yes, I love bikes.
Okay.
Today, if you offer me car and bike, today I
you
will-
prefer a bike.
Bike is got a certain sense of the freedom,
yeah,
like a turbo,
Absolutely.
1000cc bike.
Correct.
But yeah, no, some people have fascination for cars. I respect that. But for me, bike is
Okay.
Parsi bike,
Okay, yeah.
Parsi cars also.
Yeah. But bike, bike is the first love.
First love. Let your wife not hear that. Chalo, wishing you that all your dreams come true. And
Thank
Mac,
you.
I think you deserve them. Hardworking, sincere, smart, honest, intelligent people deserve it because they are generating wealth not only for themselves but for everybody around them. So I learnt about you a few minutes back. I asked you how many people you are employing. You said you have got 12 people. The Dirty Dozen. Once there was a movie,
Correct.
long back. I think was one of the big heroes of that time. He was. I had watched it with my father. This movie.
Okay.
It was a very exciting movie.
Clint Eastwood.
Clint
right?
Eastwood.
Yeah,
Wow, what a good memory. Huh?
Thank you.
The Dirty. So you're like. So this is a strong team of yours. What is your vision for this team and what do you make them do? What do they do the whole day? Your team out there.
They present.
Present.
Yeah. So essentially, their job is not to sell. Their job is to present because they are in the flow of real estate, right? So they have more knowledge, more experience, and things they know maybe the buyer does not.
Oh.
So when you meet someone who's interested to buy real estate, what they expect from the opposite person is presenting facts as they are. Okay,
Achha.
not mixing up facts, not being or not meeting them with a motive to just sell. Okay, but meeting them with a motive to advise and guide correctly.
Achha.
So I think that is the ethos and the DNA that I have nourished and cultivated in my team. And I always tell them, don't worry about the outcome. Okay. The most important thing for work is to show up. You show up, you keep working every day, you are sincere in what you are doing, you will succeed.
Beautiful, beautiful. That is so amazing advice. Every leader, every boss should say, keep saying this and keep reminding us so our moral compass is guided in the right direction.
Correct.
However, at the same time, the temptation of incentives or the temptation of the financial gain, which is not necessarily a bad thing.
That's short term. That's short term.
How
But
do you-
always you should have a long term vision.
But how do you teach them this? Because they must be also getting incentives, right? So how do they maintain that? यार Mac एक side से Mac बोल रहा है कि my boss is saying don't fall, don't be very detached.
Right.
And show them.
No, but it's
But
very
if I
easy.
be detached, then धंधा
No,
कैसे
it's
होगा?
not about being detached. It's about, as I told earlier, that you have to show up at work. Showing up at work means you have to be there, present, every day working. Not in terms of attendance, but in terms of the effort. All right. If you keep putting in sincere effort, say if Kaizad has come into a company and we know that Kaizad wants to buy a home, understanding what Kaizad wants, understanding how much comfort in terms of pricing Kaizad has, what is his goal in terms of deliverables, the timelines, all that understanding comes first. After that, we start the journey with Kaizad, right? So it is our duty to be with him till the time he's 100% satisfied and we make him reach that point of getting the perfect dream home.
Beautiful.
Now, if you show up at work, that's what I mean. If you show up and if you're working for Kaizad day in and day out continuously, then the outcome might be in 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 1 year, 2 years, but you're definitely going to have an outcome. Right? So your incentive is already generated. It's about when it's being generated.
Well said.
Thank you.
Class act. And
You should be
power
clean.
of
I mean, you should
intentions.
have clean intentions. And it shows, and you can't hide.
You can't hide.
Go on other times when you can pretend, hide, lie. All
Body
that does
language
not work.
does not lie.
It does not work.
Body
And,
language doesn't lie. Are you not planning to expand your team? 26 years in the industry is not a small time.
We are, but I think quality over quantity is what I focus on more. So it's not just about having more people, it's having the right people because your people represent you. Okay, so it's an extension. You can't be everywhere. Right? And unless you get a person who's your reflection and who's going to be you, in the outside world, doesn't make sense to just replicate.
Oh, wow. So then essentially you are saying there should be mini Macs.
No, they should be Max.
Max.
Bigger
Mac
than
kebab.
me. Bigger than me. That's the way it should be.
M2K.
Yeah.
M square K.
Yeah, M square.
When you came to real estate, mom and dad, did they object at that time? Su kare dikra?
Yeah, absolutely. You're so right. How did you know this? How did you know this?
Because Ashish Engineer's parents gave help to him.
Okay. Then I have,
And we Parsi, because my parents gave help to me when I told them that I'm going to do something different than banking.
Right.
It's a Parsi thing, I think.
Right.
So
I got into
how did
this
you convince
field.
them?
No, so I got into this field by chance. It was not like an immediate event that happened and I started real estate. It just happened across time and over the years. I was in college. I was barely 16 years old. I was in Jai Hind.
Jain.
Yeah, so I was barely 16 years old at that time, and that's when I clocked my first real estate deal.
At 16?
At 16,
How?
without even knowing what real estate is,
Are you
or without
serious? How
having
did
any
it happen?
experience.
How
Because
did
one
that
of
happen?
my friend's brother was a broker in South Mumbai, and he was looking for some apartments in the complex at Worli that I was living in.
Okay.
And one fine day, I just meet up with him socially, and he tells me, Mac, do you have something, or do you know any people who want to sell in your complex? And I'm like, I was socially very active in my building, and I'm like, yeah, I know a couple of people who would want to. And I didn't understand the reason or the motive behind that. And then he explained to me how the business works. And I was like, sounds interesting. And what do I have to do? Yeah, exactly. So he's like, kuch nahi karna hai, bas batana hai. Just go and ask them.
Simple.
Very simple, can't get simpler. So I'm like, okay, and then he took me to the buyer's restaurant. He was a Shetty and he had a restaurant in Grant Road, and he took me there. And he made me meet him, introduce me. And that's it. After that, I just found a couple of apartments and did a meeting. And in the meeting, I didn't know anything. So, like today, I'm talking. That time I was silent because I didn't know any real estate parlance, terms, nothing. Kuch nahi, khali baitho. And then it happened. So, as you rightly said, it was pocket money, and my pockets weren't that large at that time. It was a big sum. And that's how I got interested. I would not say it was a career move that time. I never thought.
But you thought you could do this? It's so.
No, I did not think.
You didn't think that
I never wanted to make this as my career then. At that point,
it was just side hustle.
Yeah, it was just a side hustle. Exactly. That chalo, you can do something like that. And then I had a few transactions like that. But along with my education, I continued. Then obviously after that, I did not want to make this as my mainstay. So tried a lot of industries, learned a few things, had bought some properties to start my own business in terms of a factory and all that stuff. But what happened was, more than the work, the real estate gave me returns. So somewhere I felt that this was my calling, and then eventually it kind of pulled me towards it. So your
real
career,
estate you didn't choose real estate.
Choose, yeah, real estate chose me, literally. So it was not an event wherein you just wake up and say, okay, tomorrow I want to become a real estate broker. Yeah, it just happened slowly.
Calling you, Aja Mac,
Aja, we
need you.
Over time.
We need more brokers like you, Mac. Avija. Hey, talking about brokers, and since you're a Parsi Babaji, I just met Ashish Engineer 1 and 2nd you. There are not too many Parsi brokers. Are there around? I think.
No, not many.
5,
but
6 you can count on your fingers.
Parsis are there in every field. So there are brokers.
They're all sprinkling here and there. No? Like a dwindling race anyway, Mac. I think.
No, I've got 2 kids, so I've done my job. You haven't.
No, job nahi.
You haven't done.
Incentive. Our community is giving incentive for more kids. You should please work on that.
No, the 3rd kid.
3rd, 4th,
you
5th,
should
6th.
start working on your 1st. Unless you already have. Unless you already have some which we don't know about.
Batsman is retired. No, again, quantity. Quality over more. So I think let's focus on that.
Quality यानी 1-2 तो करना ही चाहिए ना.
No, I will focus on quality. Whatever you all have, I will make sure I will nourish and nurture them and guide them in the right direction. I don't think I'd make such a great parent like you, and I'm genuinely inspired. I think parenting requires so much of patience and so much of sacrifice, and I think maybe sacrifice I can still come to terms with, but patience I don't think. I mean, if today God asked me, Kaizzad, what gift you would like, I'd say, like, give me patience. Like, if I've made 10 mistakes in my life, 9.5 of them have been because of the impatience.
Yeah.
So I think I'd not make a very good parent. Like, if my kid would do something like, show courage! And that's daddy is very crazy. So, okay, that's it for now. Anyway, that's interesting. I would like to ask you, I've been asking other channel partners and brokers and realtors on this show about their toughest sale and their most rewarding sale. So if you can give me one example of your, one example maybe say first of your toughest sale and then of your most rewarding sale, and then third is maybe of your biggest high net worth sale, whichever comes to your mind.
See, I think there's nothing like a tough sale. Every sale has its own challenges.
Achha.
But it's just the time. I will say when you say a tough sale, it's the amount of time and the amount of effort.
So which is
that
the
you put
longest?
in.
1 year, 2 years, 6 months?
Sometimes it takes 3 years also.
3 years?
Yeah, especially in the luxury segment because it's an upgrade. It's not a necessity. It's not like your first home. It's not a home that you need. It's a home that you want.
Correct.
Okay.
It's a want and need.
It's a desire. It's not a necessity. So those kind of transactions take a lot of time, but again, you have to be very patient. So the word that you use for parenting, patience, the same quality you should have in real estate also. Patience and perseverance. These two qualities you need to inculcate. Like I'm a very impatient person by nature, but over time again I've learned that if you have to be successful in real estate, you have to be patient and very persistent. You don't have to give up, all right, until someone has bought an apartment or a home or office, whatever he is looking for. You have to be connected and stay with your buyer. Okay, staying with him is most important. Staying connected is most important. Being relevant in his memory is most important.
What do you do to be relevant? I mean, what's your frequency of staying in touch with them?
Stay connected.
Once
Stay
a month?
connected. It's not about a time, once a month, once in 2 months, once in 10, 15 days. Anything that you find is interesting for them, send them a
some
message.
industry news or something.
Yeah, but it should not be very organic. I mean, it should not be forced like this. It should be very organic. Like say if I'm
natural like them.
very natural, you know. Like say you spoke about Tesla cars. Now, if you were to see a Tesla car on the road, you would think of Mac and you would just send me a picture, right?
Absolutely.
So it came in you naturally. So when you meet clients, when you start knowing them, when they become your friends, you know what they like, what they don't like, and you know exactly when to communicate with them.
Correct.
You don't have to just call and
How
say
cool.
when you buy.
Very nice, yeah. So something that they connect with.
Yeah.
And they should not
So
feel like
understanding what is needed, understanding why it is needed,
Correct.
is the most important thing in real estate.
Correct. So example, I'm a fan of big balconies,
Right.
and for some reason I've been like 2 years. Mac has been showing me around. I'm not finding the balcony of the right size.
Correct.
But suddenly you see some place with a big balcony. You click a photo and say, "Sir,
Yeah, exactly.
maybe this could be the balcony of your dreams."
Exactly.
And, you know, so that's relevant.
Exactly.
And,
Exactly. And that's what the KYC is, like how you have a KYC in a bank. So knowing your client is most important, knowing what he wants. Not only what he wants, what the entire family wants. Because real estate is not an individual purchase. It's a purchase of a family. So right from the husband, the wife, the kids, the parents, you know, why they want, what everybody wants, and a place where there's an amalgamation of all their wishes is what will culminate in a sale.
Absolutely. I would like to extend this KYC to KYCF.
Yeah.
Because customer to hai,
Correct.
initially when customer comes, he comes,
Right.
one person comes, either mostly it's the man of the house comes.
Not necessary, but yeah,
Not
mostly
necessarily,
it's
but
men.
most
Mostly
of
it's
that's
men,
70-80%. But the real decision maker is waiting in the wings.
Correct.
With the guns loaded
Correct.
and saying, "Tu pehle kaam kar, बाद में decide करे." The woman of the house, the influencer. Somewhere I read that 75% of the entire world's economy, the decisions are taken by the women.
Yeah, and kids also. You'll be surprised.
Yeah. So
Women
second
and
was the kids. I think
Kids
we
is-
guys come like maybe 1%.
just for signing the check.
Karo sign Mac. Yes, darling. 3 ways case yours. So yeah, I think so that's a kind of a respect. So I think KYC, most people, अरे customer मतलब ये सामने जो खड़ा है वही customer है. But KYCF, the F stands for the family. It's not only knowing that customer, it's knowing her wife, the grandparents, or the kids, and
everything.
Like I have so many customers, and I ask them like, why have you bought the property?
Right.
Amenities and all being the side, that's like you can say necessary but not sufficient.
They're just
The
basic
main reason
qualifiers,
is yeah, my son is like in the next building,
Right.
and my daughter-in-law is in the next building. It's so easy for us to stay if something happens. And they're mostly old people, so they feel हमको कुछ हो गया तो within 5 minutes I can reach out to help. So these reasons are more important.
More important.
Then what's the size of the swimming pool at that time? So I think knowing the entire that pura फैमिली का ना बच्चे लोग से लेके
understanding the family equations, the social connect is very important. And
the
once you
family.
understand that, then you know exactly where you have to guide them and what you have to showcase to them.
Correct, boss. So, what about your largest transaction, map? So, which is
So
100 crores, 50
there
crores?
have been, yeah,
the heavyweight.
we have crossed.
Megatron, what
we
is that?
have
Megatron.
crossed a few 100
few
crore
of the
plus
100 crores,
transactions,
yeah.
but the happiness that I got from the first 1 crore check that we had received was a different high.
First love.
So yeah, so
It
that
was 26 years back.
No. That was in the year 2010.
10, acha. How was that?
When World Towers was launched, Lodha World Towers, and they launched the first tower called as Lodha World 1.
World 1.
Okay, which was slated to be the tallest residential tower in the world at that time. And they had kept an incentive scheme of 10 apartment sales in a week's time. So within 7 or 10 days, you had to complete 10 transactions.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And
it's a huge ask.
Yeah, it was a huge ask, and I really focused a lot on that and went mad and berserk and just worked very hard and achieved that milestone of 10 units. And those 10 units were aggregating to a cost of 100 crores.
Wow.
And that time there was only 1% brokerage. So I think that was the first 1 crore check that I'd got along with a small.
Oh, the one check of 1 crore.
Oh yeah. Wow. So that was like
that's a different high
that was
altogether.
That was a high
seven
career
figure.
high. That was a career. And in those times it was not that easy. I mean, keeping in mind the time.
It's never easy to earn 1 crore no matter what the time, but those times relatively higher.
Yeah.
Much, I would say much harder.
So that was a happy moment, honestly.
Yeah.
Then after that,
where did you
there
go
have
to
been
Las Vegas
many
with that
highs.
money?
Sorry.
Where did you splurge it?
No, I invested it back into the business. I wanted to grow, and that's what I did.
That's what wise entrepreneurs do. Put it back in.
You have to invest back.
grow.
You have to invest back into the company, into your people, and also invest back into the world. I mean, that's the philosophy that I follow.
Can you expand more on that? What do you mean by world?
It's more of a small philanthropic streak that we
You are
all
associated
have.
with any
Not necessarily with any charity, but rather regularly you should ensure that at least
Whenever the opportunity
10%
comes,
of your income.
10%?
You should.
Wow.
You should. That's
That's what
and I think a lot of Parsis follow that.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
it's
Same here.
and that brings
Parsi,
a
thy name
different
is
kind of
charity.
happiness.
Somewhere my daddy used to always keep saying, Parsi, thy name is charity.
Yeah.
I don't know where it's come from, but I think it's a natural streak in us to just keep giving.
And as Tata
but
had
some
said,
people do make suckers out of us because of that. I तो बहुत आया छोकरा चलो ले लो उसके पास से.
balance. Good deeds are also important.
Correct.
Not necessary. It should be an anonymous thing. You should
Good
not.
thoughts, good words, good deeds. These are the three tenets on which our
Manashni,
entire.
Gavashni, Kunashni.
Oh wow, Dastur.
My grandfather was a Dastur.
Seriously?
Yeah,
How
from
cool.
Dastur
Wow.
family. So.
Wow, spiritual lineage, huh? Oh wow, very nice. After you accomplish so much, I mean, what you have done is probably a dream for most people who are watching this show right now. Where next? I mean, you're already on Mount Everest. Where more do you want to go now?
It's not about where more you want to go in terms of quantity again, but my aim is to be the greatest real estate advisor in the world.
Yeah,
Okay.
like Muhammad Ali.
Stress on advisor, the word.
Advisor, greatest advisor in
So
the
if
world. Oh, that's so
anybody
cool.
wants some guidance or wants to know, if he or she feels free and comfortable and confident calling me up and knowing that, I will get the right advice from this person, I mean, that's the stage at which I want to be.
Beautiful. Either they are already most of our viewers probably are already in real estate. Maybe they are just starting off. A lot of people who are probably not attached to real estate yet, but they still are considering, should we enter real estate, should we not? What advice would you give for these, even for the experienced people, but mostly what advice would you give for the new people, the budding entrepreneurs, for the Macs who are 26 years back?
Correct.
What would you tell them?
Correct. See, as I said, you have to show up.
Sure.
Okay, showing up is the most important thing. Sometimes people have negative thoughts, negative experiences, lack of confidence, and they don't show up to work, right? They don't work. So, as they say, you take care of your work and your work will take care of you.
Wow. Wow.
So, all you have to do is keep working. Failures are the first step to success. And it's not just a line which sounds good, it is a reality. Because unless you have failures, you will not be able to succeed. You quantize success with the amount of failures you had. You look at any entrepreneur or anyone's journey. Okay,
Success is a fraction.
Is a fraction.
Failure is backfulls.
Yeah, exactly. And unless you fail, if you don't fail, then there's a problem.
Correct.
Okay, so you should attempt. Okay, show up, work, and have two virtues. One is patience, and one is persistence.
Correct.
And I think one of the formulas for success is putting in more hours, more days. So say people work for 5 days a week or 6 days a week. If you're working for 7 days a week, that means you're having 4 more days in a month, right? 4 more days in a month means 48 days in a year. That means 1.5 month more you have over a regular 12-month year.
And then what about the balance, work-life, family, and everybody
So
else?
again, because real estate is not time-bound, you should never keep your work hours like a 10 to 6 or 10 to 5. No, that's not the way.
You can be flexi time.
You have to be flexible.
So maybe you could.
You have to be flexible.
2 o'clock to.
You have to be
12 o'clock.
available for your client at the time when you want them to be available.
And you have to be available for your family also when,
Of course,
when they
of
ask
course,
you,
of
or
course.
when they need you to be
Family is
available.
very important. But we know in the beginning of the conversation, we spoke about family and we spoke about support. So your family has to be supportive. Yes, it's not an easy field to be in. It's like the same field like being a doctor, you know, right? You speak to any doctor or any surgeon or anybody who's linked to a hospital, like they get calls at odd hours. They move off from parties. They don't have the luxury of watching a full movie sometimes, right? So these things are there, and that's a choice that you make. That's your career choice. So if you want a comfortable life, career, then there are a lot of other fields which you can choose. But if you choose something, you have to accept the perils that come with every field, and then not complain. Don't complain later that I'm not getting time or.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you want to make ₹1 crore in one check? It's not going to be easy. Warning, red flag. It is possible. You have to pay a price for it. Be ready to pay the price. We are lucky to have somebody tell it to us raw. No strings attached, no sugar coating. This is life as it is. Hard, but highly rewarding. So go for it if you have it in your guts to do it, and if your dreams are that big. This is a place, real estate is a place where even a person with a basic knowledge, but with a, you can say, a great hunger in their belly, in the fire in the belly, they can.
You have to have that fire.
Make it big.
Yeah.
You can make it big. It's, Mac, I'm staying in a rental house. Should I continue staying in a rental house, or should I buy? What would you advise me?
It depends on the time and the time of your life.
Oh, okay.
And your situation. So there's no clear black or white answer. Okay. What's black for you is white for me.
Let's say I'm 30 now.
Okay. Again, it's not about your age. You're 30. What sort of career you have? Now you are unmarried. Okay. You have a fixed career here in Rustomjee. Tomorrow Rustomjee wants to start something in Delhi. And they say, well, Kaizad, you have to relocate to Delhi. And now we have plans to go pan-India. Or now, the next 15 years, we are planning to go global. So then Kaizad will have to focus on that 10-year path. So after 10 years, or through those 10 years, you might be in Delhi for a few years. You might be in the US for a few years. You might again be in Chennai for a few years, right? So if you have that journey in your career, and if you know that you're going to move, you're not static in one city, then obviously rental is the only option for you. Right? Again, if you don't have a family, now, even if you were moving but you had a family, then would you keep your family on rent in someone else's house, even though that would be a cheaper option? So commercially or mathematically, if you would calculate, you just put numbers on an Excel sheet, then the answer would obviously outweigh in favor of rents. But life is not about Excel sheets, right? Buying a home is an emotional decision. It's about security, it's about anchorage. And what do you do with money ultimately, right? Money is to spend. Otherwise, it's just a number. So the biggest and the most important asset or purchase that you make is your home. So I think everybody should invest to buy one home, which is their anchor. And then probably, even if you want to upgrade, so I know a lot of people who have, say, a 3-bedroom somewhere and they want to enjoy a larger home. So instead of purchasing that larger home, they rent out that home. Okay, so it's a very, very personal decision. But if you ask me, then I would obviously be in the favor of purchase. Because in my career, I've seen real estate always grow in terms of appreciation, in terms of price. So it's a good investment. Plus, it's a real tangible investment. It's not like a share certificate.
Correct.
which you can't use. You can use your home, right? If you don't use, you rent it out, someone else uses. It's got a passive income, plus there is always an appreciation that's built in.
Correct, correct.
So I would say buying a home, at least one good home is what you should have. Rental is a floating sort of decision that you make, or rather your necessity is satisfied or satiated in a floating way. It's not permanent, right? You're living in someone else's house. Tomorrow, in 2 years, 3 years, they might say, well, sorry, you vacate that house. And again, you shift.
It's like eating in a restaurant every day.
Exactly.
Not getting the home cooked food.
And sometimes situations might not go in your favor in life. Sometimes your work might not be that supportive. Then what happens? Okay, so I think one good home you should have.
Your roots,
then,
like the roots.
Yeah, like the roots.
We all have memories, at least I have memories. Our childhood was in the Khetwadi in Bombay. So in the gully, it's a lane. We used to play cricket in the lane. My father taught me how to drive the bicycle, and he used to run after me. And in 3 days I learned. But those memories of that, no matter it's a rich neighborhood, poor neighborhood, that memories will never leave you, and we will always cherish those memories, because at that point of time when you are a child, there is no sense of rich and poor. And all. We are just having fun in our life and we are just enjoying masti.
Absolutely.
So I think that roots and it makes a difference.
Yeah, it makes a difference. And a home is a legacy also that you leave behind for the next generation, right? So God forbid, in an eventuality something happens to you, would you leave your family in a rented accommodation?
Correct.
Or would you leave them
it's like an insurance.
Home? Yeah, it is. It is important.
Beautiful. What a way to look at it.
I think
insurance policy. Buy your home as an insurance policy. Kick ass. Something new.
Don't look at numbers. I mean, a home is not to be weighed with numbers.
Life is not an Excel sheet.
Absolutely.
I love that sentence of yours. Life is not an Excel sheet, boss. Life is life. So cool, Mac. Very nice. Tell me briefly, what is your take on the NRI market now? Do you see it buzzing more? Like, you must be dabbling in NRIs also?
Yeah, we do. NRI markets keep fluctuating. So it's never static or stable. But right now, with our country doing so well, I think the future is of India. You see any other developed country, they actually on the downward graph, and India is growing at a tremendous pace. So, when we spoke about my kids earlier, they're going abroad for their education, for the undergrad, and one thing that I told them is, you need to come back, because this is where the future of the world is. So any opportunity, be it in terms of a career or in terms of the quality of life, what our nation is going to offer, I doubt any other nation will.
Wow.
So majority of the NRIs also have realized that, and now they are planning to come back. You'll be surprised, a lot of people who, after crossing the age of 50, 55, even living in developed countries like UK or USA, are now wanting to come back, not because they are not comfortable financially there, but I think the quality of life, the emotional bonds, the connects, which are really missing.
Correct.
So there is some kind of vacuum that you feel.
Emotional vacuum.
And you keep reading about incidents day in and day out. See what happened to Canada. Canada, a lot of Parsis are in Canada. Okay? And for so many years, we thought that's a nice, peaceful nation and, nothing can happen. But some incident like this makes you realize that, you can be alienated anytime. Because ultimately, that's not your country. Okay? This is your country. This is where you belong. So you are a first grade citizen here.
Wow.
In no other country you are that.
Wow. I feel like clapping. Hats off. Hats off to you. I feel like playing the national anthem right now, man. I totally with you, totally in sync with your thoughts, Mac. There's no place like home. So, Rustomjee starting this initiative, I'm proud and happy to share this new initiative, Partners Forever.
Nice.
Okay? Basically, the theme of this initiative is to, you realtors, brokers, channel partners are one of our biggest stakeholders, right? So, we want to, like you said, how you had a journey from being a broker to an advisor to a friend. We would also, rather than call you, I don't want to see Mac, when I see Mac Kotwal, I say, "Arey, wo broker aa raha hai." I say, "Arey, mera dost aa raha hai."
Barabar hai.
Same, we want to graduate to that level of the friendship with all of you and treat you like an extended family only. So what do you suggest? What should Rustomjee do? If you were MD of Rustomjee right now in place of Mr. Baman, what would you suggest we should do?
See, you should look at your channel partners as a part of your company. Okay, sometimes the channel partner is seen as an outsider, rather an outsider who comes and does business for mutual benefit. We need to grow above that relationship. All right. Again, the channel partner is an extension of the developer. So if Baman feels that a certain message or a certain thing needs to be conveyed, then that conveyance should be done by the channel partner. Okay. the message and the thought process should resonate.
It should be done by the channel partner.
By the channel partner. I mean, because channel partner is going out into the market, he's representing the developer, he's presenting the developer's projects to buyers probably before the buyers even entered the site, right? Correct.
So what you're suggesting is Mr. Baman should inform you about that.
Not inform. I mean, whatever communication is there. Say every real estate company, every developer has got his own DNA, right? And wants to work in a certain way, has certain principles of work, wants to convey some things to the buyer or the potential buyer who would be interested in his property. So that the channel partner should be the messenger in between, and he should faithfully convey the vision of the developer to the buyer.
Well said, well said, well said. Of course, of course.
Commercials happen. I mean, obviously, if you do good work, then you have to make money. There's no two thoughts on that.
Correct.
But you can make money by doing wrong work or bad work.
Absolutely.
That's what is not required anymore.
Mac, we have some 2-3 nice videos. Maybe I'll go home later in the evening and share those videos. We have our Mr. Chandresh Mehta talking about the vision of Rustomjee, Baman Irani, Mr. Baman Irani talking. Percy Sahib,
Percy also.
He one-on-one,
fantastic person,
like
fantastic person.
He's a master of the emotional connect, one-on-one. I mean, floors you.
Absolutely.
You're totally sold out for the vision of Rustomjee. So I think each director of ours is playing their own role in doing that already.
Everybody actually, anybody I meet from Rustomjee, I come to know, yes, this is the Rustomjee DNA. Like when I meet you, you sound like a Rustomjee person, Like even when I met Rakesh Sethia, who had joined recently, and within a few months, I realized that yes,
convert
Rustomjee
convert ho gaya.
Be it a Yatin, be it anybody. I mean,
very nice. I'm so happy and proud to hear that.
Zubin obviously is hardcore.
Hardcore. Totally hardcore. I mean, like he treats Rustomjee like a religion.
Absolutely.
Most of us do actually. So it's like for us that.
So your channel partner also. When you meet a channel partner, the buyer should know कि अरे ये रुस्तम जी का है।
तो रुस्तम जी का सबसे बड़ा
फैन नहीं रुस्तम जी है।
रुस्तम जी है बस हाँ अरे बाप रे ये तो बड़ा टारगेट रख दिया आपने हमारे लिए। My God, we have to get into.
So ये सब ना अच्छा लगता है, but you know what partners forever means क्या? When you develop a person in as your reflection.
Wow.
Okay, then that's forever.
Not an easy task.
Not an easy task, obviously not. And selective. You can't. It's selective, but it's possible. It is possible.
Very good. We should add this to the key area of our marketing team, and I shall myself also think about how to do that. So, Mac, I noticed that you have. I don't know if Nike has signed you up or you have signed up Nike.
No, neither have signed.
Your name is on the shoes. Are these personally branded?
Neither. So I'll tell you the story of these shoes. My kid, my younger one, he has got this entrepreneurial streak in him. So he started selling these kind of shoes online, just as a side hustle.
What's your son's name?
Taronish and Zaush. So I'm talking about Zaush.
Taronish and
Zaush Kotwal.
Zen names.
Z, yeah.
Fancy.
So Zaush, my younger son, he took a fancy for these kind of shoes, and it's a trend nowadays, I feel. So as a side hustle, he started buying them and selling them online.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
He bought them in wholesale and selling them online.
Yeah. So there's a lot
Capital
process.
must have been sponsored
we'll
by
speak
Daddy.
about how that's done later. I mean, capital obviously, capital comes. But he's repaid, and I think he's even made some
Genetic
small
engineering
profits.
is working all down the line.
So then he taught me this, that you can actually customize your shoes on the Nike website, and probably you can right from the swoosh to the colors to the material, everything you can customize.
Acha.
And that's how this came in.
I think Rustomjee should make customized penthouse for you, Mac, very soon. The Mac residence.
Customization is luxury, right?
Customization is a luxury. Well said, boss. I think we should dwell and contemplate on how we can use this in real estate. Well said.
Real estate, any luxury product is customizable. It's already coming. So the more customizable an apartment is, the more luxurious the quotient is.
Absolutely.
Of that.
Yeah, that brings me like this place where we are sitting in Rustomjee Elements, 14,000 square feet.
14,000 square feet. It's completely bare, like you can do whatever you want, wherever you want, however you want.
Make whichever room you want.
Exactly.
You can make a 1 BHK out of this 14,000
and
square
people
feet.
do. People do. You'll be surprised. I mean, not on a 14,000 square feet, but I know of
at least
3,000 square feet
3,000
apartments where
one
people have
BHK.
made 1 BHK. Why? Because that's what they need. They don't need a second bedroom. So why should they make another one?
Amazing. So grand living room and grand bedroom.
Yeah.
Means whatever, I'll have one, but I'll make it the biggest.
Exactly. Live your dream.
Live your dream. Superb. Very nice. So Mac, one of my last main questions of the day would be this talk going on about the buzzword in the real estate, the digitalization, digital prop tech. What is your view on how much has digitalization helped somebody like you who's been in for more than 2 decades?
Of course, digitalization or prop tech as you call it has come in a major way, but it cannot replace the human. Okay, as in many fields. So in real estate, I mean, let's stick to real estate as a subject. In real estate, earlier what used to happen, say 20, 30 years back, a broker was considered a giver of information, right? Now, that information is not necessarily needed from that broker. Now, information is freely available. So you can go to any website, any other medium, social media, and you're bombarded with information, right? So there's no dearth of information. Like this apartment being 14,000 square feet in Elements, would be available, the floor plans will be available, this particular property will be known outside in the digital sphere. But whether one should buy it, at what price one should buy it, whether it is a correct purchase, whether there are any negatives, that part is still played by the advisor, right? So what people do now, what people were doing earlier is they would ask, what should I buy or what is available, correct? Now, generally, even when I get calls and they say, well, I have seen these properties, these are the properties that are available.
Amazing.
Now, what do you think I should do? Okay, so the information is already there.
मतलब ये जूता मैंने डिसाइड किया लेने का, अभी आप बताओ कि
एक जूता नहीं है, मैंने 4 जूते डिसाइड किए, इसमें खामियां क्या है, खूबियां क्या है,
वो बताओ,
वो मुझे बताओ. So you need advice still, right?
That
for any
cannot
big
be done
decision,
digitally.
because real estate is a big decision.
Correct.
On a digital platform, you will just get information, or probably there'll be someone sitting behind that who will want to sell. But who's your friend? There has to be a friend next to you, right?
Beautiful.
जो guide करेगा.
That cannot be replaced.
That cannot be replaced. At least till now, it can't be replaced. Till AI comes in a major way. Maybe someday.
Do you ever see after 15 years, 2050, all salespeople going out of business? Is it possible?
There is nothing like sales people right now also. They are just presenters and advisors currently. The tag of sales person or sales people is long gone now. So when you meet a person, you can't just sell things now with your skill, talent, or how smartly you speak. No, all that is gone. Those
days are gone. It's a passing phase.
So you are an expert in a certain field. Say if you're an expert in the financial field or in banking. So if I need anything about banking, I'll call up Kaizad and say, Kaizad, what do you think about this product in banking, or what should I do? And insurance, for example, right? Products are known, but you'll always need that specialist who knows about that field. So for say, if you're good in insurance, I'll call you up for insurance. If you need a home, you'll call me.
Correct.
So those roles are still very prevalent.
At least not going anywhere away too soon. Not too soon. Not in our foreseeable future at least.
Correct.
Beautiful, Mac. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I'm going to ask you some questions, list of, what do you call that? Power questions, rapid fire questions. Which is the most humanitarian brand as per you? You can give one or more names. Means वो दिल से काम करते हैं, human being समझ के.
I'm not just saying it because I'm sitting here, but definitely Rustomjee. Definitely Rustomjee.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mac. Which is the most trusted brand or brands in your mind? Top 3, 4, 5 trusted brands.
It's not about my mind, it's the perception in the customer's mind. So currently, Raheja Corp is top.
It's been there for like 40 plus years also, right?
And it's
so hats off to them.
Top on trust, based on the performance and the deliverables.
Correct.
So I think.
Which is the brand with the best, this is a golden $1 million question, with a brand with the best brokerage experience?
Currently, Lodha is doing well on that.
Okay.
Because they started a channel partner portal.
Correct.
And the entire brokerage experience, rather the experience of dealing with them, has become seamless.
Okay.
It's been there since a few years. So right from generating your invoices to knowing what the status of your client is.
Perfect.
Everything is visible and every stage is known to you. So I think that ease of doing business is maximum.
Ease of doing business, transparency, and I'd like to commend Lodha. They're a great inspiration for the entire
They are
industry.
an institution. I think they've institutionalized real estate. And Abhishek Lodha is someone I really admire because he's taken the industry places.
Absolutely, absolutely. No, it's always nice to have, like today how Muhammad Ali inspires the various boxers.
He's a visionary. I mean, he was such a young boy when he started Bellissimo and Lodha as a brand, and at that time his vision of creation of things like World Towers was way, way, way ahead. No one could fathom or even dream of creating
The
such
Elon
things.
Musk of real estate.
Yeah, actually.
Great.
And they've succeeded, you know.
Yes.
Not without difficulty though, and not without failures. Lots of failures, lots of difficulties. But today they are where they are because of those failures that they had. A lot to learn from them.
Absolutely. We all learn. We learn from Mr. Iranandani. We have high regard, respect for all the people senior to us, all the people bigger than us.
Correct.
Mr. Bomanirani, our MD, always, like it doesn't matter. He's even willing to learn from the child and from the watchman, and their hunger for knowledge.
Boman is a very connected person.
So
you kind of
down to earth.
Down to earth. He's connected. He is connected to every person who's there in his company. He's connected to every client. He's accessible. So he's a different breed of a human.
Yes.
It comes across.
Naturally. And I'm very happy and proud to share that in the footsteps of Lodha, I'm not sure if we thought of it first.
I know.
But we also have started our channel.
No, they started it first. Prashant Bindal, who joined the company.
I know Prashant. He's a great guy.
He started and he paid a huge emphasis to channels and distributor networks.
Fantastic.
So he initiated this, and I think now it's being emulated by major top developers. Rustomjee has also started this, which is a very, very welcome move.
We have gone even one step ahead. Besides starting a channel partner portal, we've even started a customer portal.
Okay.
So all these things, what you're saying, accessibility or ease of doing payments.
Correct.
When your next slab is coming, you can see the photo of your construction cost, your demand letters, your receipts.
That's needed.
It's like banking.
Yeah.
Today you are with a bank, but you don't need to go to the bank.
So
Rustomjee is giving you that ease. An NRI sitting somewhere 6,000 miles away knows what's happening in the project. So that transparency. So I think entire industry is learning from each other, and that just abodes well for the entire industry. Most importantly for the customers.
Correct.
Boman sir's favorite quote: "A rising tide lifts all ships."
Correct.
Such a wise
so well said.
A rising tide lifts
all ships.
If Lodha does well, Iranani does well, Raja does well, Rustomjee does well, everybody does well.
Exactly.
Everybody wins. So that's
and the customer wins.
Most important. Well said. Customer wins. And broker is the referee.
Broker is the medium.
Medium. Catalyst.
The connector.
The connector. Catalyst. Well said. One improvement. If you want, supposing we call you, the industry at large calls you as a consultant, एक चीज बताओ कि what developers can improve. What do you would suggest generally to all developers? This advice would go.
In what sphere or
any sphere? You can tell me the sphere. Which
in relation to my fraternity or in
relation to customers.
To the broking.
In relation to customers, what do you think we should improve?
Okay.
So in relation to customer interaction, what do you think we should improve?
Right. So for customers, I think you already said about passing on information in an easy way. Okay, so through your portals, I think that you have achieved.
Yes.
Second is more transparency. I think we are there. It's not that developers are not transparent now, but still there is a lot of transparency that needs to come in. Okay, showcase things as they are. The positives, the negatives. There are always going to be troubles. Real estate is not an easy business to be in, not an easy field, right? Today, nobody can just even if you have a piece of land, you can't just become a developer.
Impossible.
Right?
Exactly.
Very difficult.
Great entry barrier.
Yeah. So entry barriers and a lot of problems along the way. So be transparent about your journey.
But RERA has brought that transparency to
a certain extent. To a certain extent.
Starting from the number of,
to a certain extent, yes. But why should a developer depend on a law, or why should a developer be forced through a law to be transparent? Either you are transparent or you're not transparent. Don't say that you have to be transparent because a law like RERA is coming, right?
Fair
so
enough.
That's again the DNA that developers
Fair
get.
point.
So be transparent. Every project is different. Correct? There's a good developer who's taking on 5 projects. His journey in 5 projects is not going to be the same. Every project is different.
Correct.
So make your buyer a part of the journey. Okay, make him understand the perils, make him understand the pros, the cons, the benefits of that particular project transparently, and they will respect you more. So that particular ethos needs to be brought in the initial person who greets the buyer on site. If I'm a buyer and if I go to a site, I should not feel that I'm meeting this person and his only motive or intention is to sell to me.
No.
Right?
Max, I totally with you. If I'm sorry to cut you, but I might forget this. Like you were talking about DNA, it is in the Rustomjee DNA to speak the truth.
Correct.
I still have a example, and many such examples I can give you, but one I'll share.
Yeah.
One of my colleagues, Navrang Joshi.
Have
you heard of him, Navrang Joshi?
No, I haven't.
He's a very nice guy, Marwadi, sweet chap.
Okay.
Last 19 years, 20 years, he's also with the Rustomjee. Once 6 crore property, BKC Annex, seasons, Rustomjee seasons. Customer wanted to buy one flat. Money is there in the pocket, willing to give the money, token amount, 1 crore, whatever the token amount was, or whatever was due at that time. कि मेरे को ये 19th floor मांगता है. So Navrang, my colleague says, why you want that? He's saying ना मुझे sea view मिलेगा उधर से, ceiling का view मिलेगा. He's saying sir ceiling का view नहीं मिलेगा.
Correct.
So customer got upset. How you are lying to me? I can easily visualize from here the building and the ceiling is there. If I go on the height, he was trying to visualize कि height कैसे वो ceiling. Sir नहीं दिखेगा ऐसा. नहीं you don't want to sell me the flat. I want to see.
Right.
So he's saying, no sir, right now the building is not constructed till 19th floor, but the adjacent building is there, but there is no lift. It's under construction.
Correct.
But that customer was so adamant, he said, no, I will climb. He's 60 years plus.
Wow.
60 years plus, but he climbed 19 to 20 floors on the adjacent building. As soon as he climbed that building, he saw our next door neighbor. They had a big excavation.
Okay.
And which they could not see from the ground level.
Correct.
And then my colleague, Navrang, sir, देखो excavation दिख रहा है. वो काय के लिए है?
So Navrang made a client for life.
सामने बिल्डिंग आएगा, वो आज के लिए आपको मिलेगा ceiling, but after 6 years you will not get the ceiling.
Exactly.
Customer was so amazed that he could have easily made a 6 crore, 7 crore sale.
True.
And so this is, I can give you many. We have lost sales and we have lost sales and we have lost sales.
Actually, this is not losing a sale. This is winning a client. There's a difference.
Exactly. Yeah. So we also, initially it pinches us, but we know, Maman Saab, if you see the mission statement also of Rustomjee, and he utters it from his mouth all the time. Whatever I do, I will do.
No, so Navrang, correct, I got the name right.
Navrang.
Navrang kind of made this client a Rustomjee client for life.
Absolutely.
So next time, and he made him his ambassador.
Correct.
So when the client will go out, like you were narrating the story to me, imagine the number of people this particular buyer would have narrated the story to. So tomorrow if he ever wants to buy anything, he'll be say like, चलो रुस्तमजी में गए तो I know I will not be cheated. जो होगा बुरा होगा अच्छा होगा मुझे बताया जाएगा पहले से. Okay, that's the transparency I'm talking about.
Correct.
Because they can never be 100% good, right? Real estate में some negatives have to be there. You can't have a checklist with all 10 checkpoints.
Correct.
Ticked.
Correct. And Mohammed Saab always tells us, Mac, I agree with what you're saying, that we will never substitute price for quality. Correct. Well, if I'm going in little loss,
Right.
Mohammed Saab, Percy sir, Chandresh sir will take a call.
Correct.
Profit कम होएगा चलेगा. On quality में फर्क नहीं. And second is they keep telling us, build the business.
I've experienced that with Rustomjee, and they honor their word, even at the cost of sacrificing some amount of money.
Yes.
If they've given a word on some things, and if they're not able to keep the commitment, then they'll take a hit. But
we have taken hit many times.
Yeah,
many times.
I know that from
many times.
I know that from experience.
That is why we are very proud Rustomites. Rustomites are the proud. Why? Because these values are something which our own parents have taught us, and we are sinking. The values are sinking. Like today, your kids are sinking with you because daddy's values and our values are same. So they love the father, they admire the father. For us, Rustomjee is like a parent. You can say no. So it makes us very happy. We don't have to lie to anybody. And वो जो ना conscience अपना clear ना, a clear conscience is the best pillow.
True.
Clear conscience is
the best pillow.
अच्छा नींद आता है रात को. टेंशन में सोने का नहीं अपने को. मुन्ना भाई ने क्या बोला? टेंशन लेने का
नहीं.
वो टेंशन कभी नहीं आएगा जब ये सच बोलेगा तभी. बस ना बात खत्म हो गया. So I think that's and I'm very happy that I'm not trying to brag here that Rustomjee is the only one doing that. I'm very happy and proud that a lot of developers are now coming into this same fold and with the same values, and it's only going to augur well for the entire industry.
Correct.
It's going to do well for all of us.
Yeah, it's going to do well for
everyone.
everyone.
Of course, you realtors, very well educated, well spoken, looking like some Bollywood, Hollywood heroes, and very well presentable. So the entire breed or the quality of the professionalism, skill, intent, it's all coming together
Correct.
as a beautiful work of art,
Right.
Mac. So I'm so happy and proud. The future is very bright for our industry, and I think
It is.
sunrise. We can call it even we are in the sunrise stage right now.
It is.
Yes or no?
And there's a boom.
Boom.
Right now there's a construction boom that's happening, and ours is a dynamically growing economy.
Correct.
So you can imagine the number of homes that will be needed in our country.
Countless, I think
It's
so.
countless. It's unbelievable the amount of desirable homes that will be needed. So I think Rustomjee or any other developer who's in the business now is in the right business at the right time.
Right place at the right time. Chalo. For those who are on the fence, deciding whether we should buy a home or not, should we enter real estate or not, Mac has answered most of your questions. And if you joined this show in between, rewind to the beginning and listen to him all over again. It's going to be worth your while. Next question, Mac. Which are your favorite categories to deal in? Mass housing, aspirational housing, luxury, uber luxury?
Personally, I focus on the Uber luxury segment. Okay. But luxury and Uber luxury are somewhere where I have found my comfort and my forte.
That's your playing field. Home ground.
It's kind of
sixer pe sixer.
No, it's not about the quantity or the size of the apartment. It's just the way that particular segment works, behaves.
I think it's somewhere there's intellectual stimulation over there also.
Yeah, and you get to meet the right people. You get to meet people who you admire. Like I've met a lot of industrialists who probably you watch on TV or see them in newspapers, and then helping them buy a home is another high.
Oh, wow.
So you kind of dealing with industry stalwarts, and that kind of luxury you get only when you deal in that Uber
category.
luxury segment. So I think that's a different satisfaction that I get, and that's why I focus on that.
So you are advising
there's more money to be made in the fast-moving segment, right? So the entry-level homes are where
the churn is higher.
the churn is much higher, and that's where a lot of realtors who are using digital spaces or digital mediums to sell are. But there's not much of personalized touch, no interactions. It's different.
Yeah.
So I think my comfort and my focus is there, and everybody should have a focus in their life and in their business. You have to be focused. You should not do or want to do everything. Okay, leasing करना है तो leasing करो और best बनो leasing में. Okay, if you want to do a mid-scale segment or you want to do a certain geographical zone, be the best in that.
Correct.
Okay, rather than try to do everything and not
Jack
be
of all
great. Yeah, you should be a master. Specialization is the need, and it's the time, the right time.
ये इलाके का king
Specialist.
King
specialist.
I mean in doctors you are saying heart
doctors
specialist,
like
liver
heart
specialist,
specialist.
kidneys पे हर organ का specialist आ रहा है अभी.
Correct. अभी heart का brain का तो surgery नहीं करेगा. Right? So he specializes in that field the same way in real estate or any field.
Beautiful, I think specializing niche is always you get the quality and the
and that's the way the world is moving.
The world is moving. Beautiful. Which location do you think is a happening location in MMR Bombay right now?
Now that location parity is come. As a matter of fact, when I came here and I was taking a tour of this particular property and I asked about the rates or the gentry, the kind of people who buy. One thing which we realize is that someone in Juhu is paying a similar price for a home here as someone probably in Bandra, as someone probably in South Mumbai.
Wow.
So it's not like that South Mumbai is the better Tony location of Mumbai, which it was considered all these years. Wherever you find your comfort and wherever you feel your home is, say Bandra is home to a lot of people, right? A Bandrite will not want to come to Altamont Road. For him, Pali Hill is that luxury hill, not the Altamont Road hill.
Correct.
So I think there is no zone as such. It's all about the right development in the right zone. And today we see beautiful developments coming up in all locations of Mumbai. And every project has got everything that we need.
I think everyone has their own strength and you cannot undermine.
Every location is important to the residents there. And I think people don't want to move a lot. So now if you have the requisite infrastructure, like we spoke about kids. So if your kids or your kids' education is great in your zone, okay, you have the best of schools there, best of healthcare, good hospitals, probably your work is closer to that, then why would someone want to move to a certain zone?
Absolutely.
There's no need.
Absolutely.
And developers are understanding that. So they are creating great townships everywhere.
Wow, correct.
The quality of products that you see across the board is very similar.
True. You will not believe, Mac, you are such a, this is a great insight. An only experienced person like you could have, if you come to our Rustomjee Thana.
Right, exactly. Like Thane is a location.
Boss, Mac, I'm telling you, the first time I saw the amenities over there, and I went totally, I was telling people that Bandra mein bhi tumko
itna
nahi milega. People in Thana are enjoying what people in Bandra. You come to my Virar, my good friend.
Correct.
It's a Olympic size swimming pool. No person in the entire South Mumbai can have Olympic size swimming pool.
Correct.
And almost 1 lakh square feet, worth of the built-up area, worth of the clubhouse.
Right.
Even the uber luxury people cannot have access to that kind of thing which we are having. So this is a very powerful insight that you have shared. On the contrary, because of the scale, what you said, and the churn and the large numbers, we are able to build more.
Absolutely.
These people are enjoying luxuries which are Bandra
the lifestyle quotient of those properties is way higher than probably the better locations or preconceived better locations in Mumbai.
Ironic, isn't it?
Yeah, it is ironic.
Yeah, but that's good for those people. I think they waited quite long for that, and that parity, I think, somewhere was due, and I think it's due coming, and it's not taking away from anybody and taking from one and giving to other, but I think it's value for money for each location.
And I think that's a healthy way to grow. The city should grow horizontally rather than just vertically.
Beautiful.
And with so much of infrastructure coming and good properties and projects coming up in different locations, I think people will want to spread out.
Correct.
So Mumbai should get larger horizontally, not vertically.
Correct. Yeah, Mumbai and Pune should merge, huh?
Someday.
Oh wow. Okay, last couple of nice questions. Today, if instead of me, Mr. Modi was sitting in my chair and he asked you, Mac, bol, su jo hai tane, government thi su help jo hai tane, bolo tame, bolo jaldi. What would you ask the government for real estate?
I would say bring more people in the tax bracket.
Oh,
okay,
that is an amazing
very,
ask.
very important.
Only 1%, I don't know, what is that? 1% are in tax bracket.
So what's happening is there are very few people in the country who are being burdened with taxation. So I think, and the tax brackets have gone too high. So if, like, now the reach has come, now there are so many ways in which you can reach out to more people. Digitalization has come in, so majority of the spends, even in small villages, towns and all that, people are spending digitally. Okay, so there's accountability of what is spent, what is earned. You can definitely broaden the tax net and thereby reducing taxes. If you reduce taxes, then your net collection, because you have more taxpayers, is logically going to increase. Okay, and there should be a pride in paying tax. So say, now that we are discussing this, in the year 2021 or 22, who was the highest taxpayer in India?
I don't know. Not me.
Yeah, I know it's not. You don't pay your taxes. We
all
know.
That's why I said unfortunately.
We know Kaizad doesn't pay his taxes.
I have no choice. It goes away before my salary comes to me. The government said, "De baba, de," and I said, "Take happily, proudly, I give it."
Akshay Kumar was the actor.
Oh, interesting.
Akshay Kumar. Interesting. So, and I think he had paid a tax of 29 crores, if my memory serves me right. Okay. And in that year, even we had paid a lot of tax and were in the top taxpayer bracket. And that was another proud moment for me. I mean, not in terms of how much you earn, but in terms of what contributor or the level of contribution I could do towards nation building. I mean, it did pinch, obviously, to be very honest, as human. But then when I see so much of infrastructure development going on and the way the country is progressing, and I feel that I have contributed some part of it there. So अच्छा लगता है.
This part of the coastal road was built by Mac Kotwal Realty.
a few of the blocks.
A few blocks of them are mine. ये foundation नहीं रहता तो गाड़ी वो side पे नहीं जाती थी.
So that pride should come in. So what will happen is that if tax rates go down and if people are encouraged to pay and have that peace of mind, then it would bring in a sense of pride.
Chalo. I have no idea how this.
So I hope Modi ji, you heard it.
Well, we'll find a way. Mr. Modi sahib, we'll reach out to you somehow or the other. You just wait. World Cup is round the corner, Mac. In a friendly tone, I would like to ask you, who are your top 3 contenders besides India? I don't know. Everybody is saying India is genuinely your country.
I'm not much of a follower of cricket now.
Okay.
I've lost
touch.
Yeah,
Which game do you play the most? Besides bodybuilding?
No, I'm not much into following of too many sports, ironically. But cricket, yeah, I mean, cricket is the first love of the nation, and definitely I would like our country to win. It goes without saying.
Without saying.
Yeah, without saying. But I think it's become a good form of entertainment now. So I think with so many forms of cricket coming in, it's kind of crossed the national barriers also. Like with all these T20 tournaments and all that, you have players from different nations coming together and playing. As a sport, I think it's become more entertaining.
We should do some version of the T20 for the real estate also.
Yeah, we should.
Like,
we should.
Invite realtors from various countries and have some Jamboree or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Or like that Woodstock concert or something, like that version of real estate. Why don't you start your own company for
I'll
this?
speak to Baman on this. I'm sure we'll collaborate.
Yeah, as if he has no, he has like,
Everything now that's needed in real estate is with Rustomjee.
he hardly sleeps 6 hours a day.
Correct.
Now you will take that 1 hour, 5 hours, it will become 5 hours.
6 hours, good amount of sleep.
Good amount of sleep.
good
I think
amount
you're
of
also in that category. Naughty boy.
That's what this says.
Ayo, time for your customers to call. We have to end fast. Okay. So anyway, that was a good on a light note. If there was one word from the heart which comes, dil se, not an intellectual answer, from the heart, one word for Rustomjee, कि Rustomjee को एक word में describe करने का है, which is that one word that comes to your mind?
Trust, tradition, transparency.
3 T's. Interesting. मैं one पूछा अपन 3 मिला. चलो that we'll take
नहीं,
that.
वो naturally आता है. And I think it's not just me.
Trust, tradition and transparency. Beautiful. Well thought of. And thoughtfulness. The 4 T.
That's the tagline. So it's too cliched for me to say that.
क्यों आया?
नहीं, वो ठीक है, I agree.
It's a
But if I would have said that, it would be wrong.
From the heart.
That's already done.
Every action of ours, Mac, I'm telling you, I would like to dispel this notion that it's just a marketing and a very, fancy word. It's in our DNA, Mac. I'll give you one more example also to support that. There was one customer I met in one of the events. We sponsor a lot of events.
Correct.
For bringing our communities together.
Yeah, you build communities.
We build communities.
You build communities.
Vaman sir always says, build the communities, bring the people together.
It's not just about selling the home and then moving out. It's about bonding people
We are
together.
not obliged to do this. But
I see you do a lot of events even before the possession of the property is given.
Exactly.
So that people get to know each other before they start moving or before they start living.
vested interest है ही नहीं उसमें.
Correct.
वो दिल से काम करते हैं हम लोग.
Right.
कि भाई bring them together, let them be happy, let them be comfortable. When 2 people are standing in the lift, they should not give like weird stares to each other. कि ये कौन है. They should say, hi Mac, कैसा है? Nice shoes. Start a conversation. How's your kid doing? How's the new guitar lessons going? They should have that kind of a conversation standing in the lift, not like strangers. So that's the whole idea. And
like even in Crown, they have this community table.
Yeah. You've seen that, right?
Yeah, very interesting.
You will see many events now coming up. Already we are working on Know Your Neighbors karke one theme for the Crown, and you will see a splurge of events. As the now OC has already come for one of the towers, you will see huge activation over there. So coming to the point of the thoughtfulness, I met this one customer, and that customer mistook me for Mr. Percy Chaudhary, who is one of our directors, and so I was like very proud for that one moment, and I imagined that I was Percy Chaudhary, and like how it would be like God's gift if I, not for any other reason, but because the character and the personality of that person, like he's such an amazing human being. I mean, just for being the human being that he is, I would give anything. I'm like, he's my gold standard for humanity. So I said, ma'am, I wish I was Mr. Percy Chaudhary, but right now I'm Kaizad Hateria. I'm serving Mr. Percy Chaudhary. I can reach out to him. Is there any message you would like to give me? She says, yeah, please give him this one message. So I said, yeah, tell me. So she said she had bought a flat in Oriana. Oriana is next to Rustomjee Seasons.
Correct.
It was one of our first projects in that micro market. And I think 45 lakhs they had already paid up. Unfortunately, at that stage of their life, she or somebody in her family got a cancer. And they needed some 20-25 lakhs for the chemotherapy immediately, like 25 lakh straight away for chemotherapy. It had reached the advanced stage or something like that, she told me. And then she told her husband that they didn't want to, at that time maybe the markets and all, whatever, not favoring them. So they decided that anyways, if this thing goes on and if something fatal happens, how would they pay the rest of the money? So they wanted to like exit the project. So she told her husband, Okay, let us go to the developer. Now we are called developers, but in those days we were called builders.
Correct.
So I'm very happy for the promotion that the customers have given us. So she said, let's go to the developer and ask for the money back. Husband started, being very sarcastic, said, or almost smirking and laughing, like, are you crazy? Which developer has ever given the money back to the customer once they take it?
Correct.
She says, no, but this is Barsi Babaji, Rustomjee chhe, he will give it, let us try. So he said, you go and try if you want. So somehow she reached out to Mr. Percy, and Mr. Percy, without blink of an eye, without thinking twice, how much is our interest cost, what loss have we got? Because see, there's a cost to, we have invested a cost to acquire this customer. That cost is now gone down. Now I have to invest another cost to acquire another customer, which is at a higher rate. So that time cost, opportunity cost, money cost, nothing. Boss, this situation, it's a humanity, give it back. No twos about it. Money was full check refunded.
Respect.
Without
respect.
I'm telling you, Mac, I can sit here for next 2 hours and go on and if you sit with Mr. Percy, he can sit till tomorrow morning and give you examples like that. So
he's a fantastic
it's
person.
thoughtful, it's Rustomjee, it is in our actions and our words and our deeds. No, nobody, I mean, we have no tools about it, we will अपना फायदा क्या है अपना नुकसान क्या है it is a right thing to do.
Right.
Maman sir always tells us, do it, it's because it's a right
righteousness
thing.
correct, that's a virtue.
Once when in one of the parties Mr. Percy met one vendor of ours and that vendor said, Percy sahab, मैं जब भी फ्लैट लेगा ना मैं रुस्तमजी में ही लेगा. He's saying why Rustomjee only, दूसरा कितना डेवलपर नहीं. So that guy was quite a cheeky fellow. He's saying देखो मैं आपको materials कुछ supply करता हूँ आपको. And normally what happens is maybe other B grade, C grade developers, not the branded ones of course, and the mom and shop kind of pop. उन लोगों को थोड़ा कुछ दे देते हैं वो gate के ऊपर. So they allow the kind of a little substandard material to get in. He's saying I have tried and tried and tried for 100 times I have come, 100 times I have tried. And I have offered a bigger chunks of the money than I would give to anybody else. But not even once I have got the success. And I have had to send my trucks back, or I have to make sure that if I come to Rustomjee, I have to bring only the best material because मेरा इधर कुछ चलने वाला नहीं है. So he's saying that even the people at the lower level are so clean.
Correct.
So he's saying I know कि if I have not been successful after so long, मेरे को जो घर मिलेगा वो सबसे best quality का मिलेगा, उसमें कुछ मिलावट नहीं रहेगा. So this is that smile which you would see on Mr. Percy's face. वो जो spiritual satisfaction, that you also said your greatest reward is your customer calls you or your staff is calling you and say thank you Mac. हमारे लिए भी वो same story है भाई. So this thoughtfulness is there in the like this a culture flows from the top ना.
Correct.
इधर है भाई, दिल से करता है. ये खाली मार्केटिंग वाले ने बोला इसलिए लगाया नहीं हम लोगों ने. वो अपना DNA में है इसलिए लगाया है.
Correct.
बस. That's it.
I second that.
Yes, boss. I think it was genuinely lovely exchanging ideas with you, Mac, and
same here. It felt really great talking to you.
Yeah, it was absolutely fun.
How time flew! I just saw my watch and I can't believe.
I told you 1 hour would pass like 15 minutes.
I think more than an hour.
Yeah. So thank you, viewers, for your patience and for your time too.